All of the signs are pointing towards a new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer any day now, and we've actually got some drawings of what could be the starter evolution's final stages. Let's take a look. All right, so we've got a lot to cover today. We've got Amy at Japan breaking down that the Pokemon Company is preparing to show us new information. There's a few actually pieces of information that lead us to believe that. They said the last time I accessed this reservation site, I was not asked to log in, but now the login screen appears, and following up on that, there's only 10 days left until reservations or the ability to kind of pre-order the game appears in Japan. And historically, we have the precedent of they always do a promotion before the pre-orders go live. So with those pre-orders coming in approximately, at this point, about 9 days, it's very, very likely that there's going to be a trailer prior to that. And just a reminder, it has been almost 2 months since our last trailer, which is probably the biggest drought that we've had for the Pokemon franchise that I can remember in a news cycle outside of like the first to second trailer. Usually the second to third is only a few weeks or a month away. We're approaching 2 months now, which is pretty wild. So with all that being said, I do anticipate we're gonna get some news very soon, and that news may actually come tomorrow. I wouldn't hold your breath on it, but Amy also reports on the fact that there is maintenance scheduled for both Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl for kind of the different online services. That could be coincidence. Maintenance doesn't always mean that there's an update, so don't take this for too much. But again, I do think now that we're in this 9-day window, it's very likely that if we don't get something by Friday, it would be something very early next week. But I feel like it's gotta be, right? Like, they've got these pre-orders scheduled. They're gonna be announced them. Historically, they do have a promotion prior to those pre-orders. Everything just makes a lot of sense that there would be some new information coming out regarding the games. And again, it's just been so long since we've had anything, with the exception of the leakers, obviously, which at this point, it does seem the leakers have been pretty silent. Kaka indicated that they were kind of done leaking. Riddler Coup said that they were done leaking, although Riddler Coup has put out a few tweets since then, nothing of too much substance. So if anything comes out, obviously I'll cover it here on the channel. But we do have some last kind of images from Central Leaks basically saying, hey, these are some things that were shared by the leaker Kaka. They asked us not to share, but now that they're gone, we're gonna basically share it. And it's pretty interesting. It's actually apparently the images of the Paldea map, Paldea being the region, of course, of the upcoming game Scarlet and Violet. So they're very blurry, right? I mean, that's been the theme of this leak season, is just super uber blurry images. I don't know, how much to make of it, but apparently the first image is an in-game one, the second one is concept art, and the third one is an overlay with the map that we saw in the trailer, which I think is actually pretty cool to put together, because we did see a map in the first trailer, and you could kind of see how things are overlaid. We do have information from the leaker Kaka that the game has some pretty big substance to it. They actually said it took about 60 hours to beat it, which means that probably the average person is going to land at like 25, 30. They said they were playing pretty slow, so I wouldn't count on 60 hours of true exhilarating gameplay, but it seems this is going to be a pretty robust game. And all the areas of the map do indeed add up to something greater or larger than all of the areas in the Hisui region added together, which I honestly feel like is a pretty big region, right? Like, when I go through the Crimson Mirelands or, the Alabaster Icelands or any of those places, those are pretty big open world pieces of land. So the fact that, we're gonna have this open world map of Paldea that encompasses all of this is pretty sweet in my opinion. And now's a great time to shout out our Poke Loot. We've got this brand new Poke Loot available that comes with some amazing stuff, including an awesome t-shirt, 3 plushies, 3 gold cards, represent the Gen 1 starters, a pack of Pokemon cards, the coins, everything. I only have 40 of them left, so like grab it now at pokeloot.net. We sold out almost all of them. There's only 40 units left at the time I'm making this video. So chances are, it's gonna go quick, so make sure you grab it while it's still available. And if it's gone and you wanna pick up some sweet stuff, check out my merch at teamshiny.com. Rep the boy, we got some great t-shirts there. So check it out, teamshiny.com. Use code SUMMER to get 15% off if you pick up 3 shirts or more. Grab the Poke Loot, there's only 40 left. Now this is where the leaks get really goofy, and I have to laugh at this because apparently there were some sketches done from Kaka to illustrate what some of these new Pokemon look like. And apparently, obviously, we have a new worm Pokemon, and this image is a sketch of the new worm Pokemon from the leaker. Now, I don't know about y'all, but it looks like, 4 circles. It looks like a worm. I don't know what to tell you. I hope that we look back at this image one day and it is a perfect rendition of what this new worm Pokemon is. I don't know what to tell you, but apparently there's a new earthworm Pokemon. It doesn't evolve. Whatever. I find this to be hilarious. Then we asked the leaker to recreate Primeape's evolution. We know that Primeape has a unique evolution method. It's a new evolution that's apparently fighting in Ghost type. And they were asked to do it using only emojis. And this is what they came up with. And it gives me like Galarian Meowth vibes, to be honest, like Berserker vibes. Got this big beard, almost looks kind of like Santa Claus with his arms sticking out and the feet. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this, man. All I can do is laugh. This is what our leak season has become. We're so dry for news, for Pokemon information. We're using emojis to describe Primeape's evolution. But again, I just hope that Primeape's evolution looks exactly like this emoji so we can look back at this moment and laugh hysterically. And then it gets even better, right? And you might be like, hey, Drive, why are you covering this? Because it's legit, right? Like if it really is coming from the leaker Kaka, we know that they're legit. This is interesting, right? We've got the starter evolutions drawn out in about the same level of drawing quality that I would be able to produce. And here is apparently what Fuecoco's evolution is going to be, which is a very standard crocodile-looking alligator thing on all fours with a bird on its nose, which ties directly to what we've seen from Riddler Coup. It ties to a lot of the leaks and theories that we have about Fuecoco's evolution, that it has like an egg on its head in its middle stage, and then it hatches into like a flaming bird in its final stage, like a rooster or something. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. But then we also have a very interesting depiction of Quaxly's evolution, which, again, all I can do is laugh. Don't judge me. We're just covering the news. And then we've got Sprigatito's evolution. Again, we did get really blurry images of this. And a part of me wonders if, like, these leakers are like an industry plant from Pokemon to give people something. Like, what if their marketing strategy, I doubt it, but like, conspiracy theory A-Drive here. What if their marketing strategy was like, all right, we're not gonna release a trailer. We're gonna go like release leaks instead and see how much hype we can get around the community. And to be honest, I mean, there was a lot of conversations in the community. So we'll see how it all plays out over the next few days. As again, it does seem as though we are headed towards some sort of a trailer, some sort of new information, something to give us, you know, substance for this upcoming game and kind of set us up for those pre-orders. I want to mention this because there was some misunderstanding in the community. Pokemon Pants actually did some really cool renditions of the gym leaders, and I'll put it on the screen. Props to them. They look amazing. They did an incredible job, and they came out and said these are fake, right? Like, I made these. I hope you like them. They did some different concept arts and things like that for the various, you know, gym leaders and stuff. And then I saw people commenting on my video and like, hey, Drive, aren't you gonna address that those gym leaders that you said were real were fake? And I was very confused because the going theory right now is that these are still the real gym leaders, just not these renditions of concept art. And if I'm correct, I'd have to go back and watch, but I don't think I ever said that the concept art was legit, just that the blurry screenshots we have, which you can see on the screen here with the Pokemon Leak watermark on there, these are believed to be real because they came from the source that gave us all that other information, right? They didn't come from Pokemon Leak, they just kind of threw their watermark on it. But these are believed to be real, all these images, right? They line up with Riddler Coup. There's, you know, all these images are thought to be legitimate. There's not really any doubt in the leakers' minds and in the greater community's minds that these are real. It's just that this artist decided to make their own concept arts and try to pass them off as leaks, which is fine, whatever, you know, do your thing. No hate here. But I just want to let you guys know that, you know, they did come out and say that they made those. But again, that doesn't mean that the gym leaders are fake. It just means that those concept arts were fake. So, I don't know. I think they did a great job. So, props to them. Big shouts to Pokemon Pants for kind of putting that together. I thought that was pretty sweet. So, hang tight with me, guys. I do think there's going to be something new soon. I know I've been saying that for a few weeks. Don't get mad at me, right? I'm just telling you guys what's going on in the community. I can't control when the trailer happens, right? I just follow the patterns and the trends and hear what everybody else is saying and see what happens. But I do think it's got to be soon. We're almost at 2 months since the last trailer, which was on June 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like it could really be any day now. So stay glued. Make sure you guys subscribe. Like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on everything in between. And don't forget to pick up the Pokeloot at pokeloot.net. Only 40 of them left, so they're going to go quick. Grab them now. And that's that for me, guys. My name is Dan. I also go by A-Drive, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.